It's round 3 of the Telstra Premiership, and today, 9 Sunday afternoon rugby league coming to you from Aussie Stadium, and the clash between the unbeaten Manly Sea Eagles and the home side, the Sydney Roosters, still looking for their first victory in 2007.
Let's have a look at how they line up for this afternoon's clash. At fullback, Anthony Minicello. Back after long injury, just starting to find his feet, Sammy Perrott and Sean Kenny-Dowell on the wings. Now, Asia Soliola gets a reprieve. He was dropped earlier in the week. Joel Monahan hurt himself at training, so he's back. Amos Roberts, too, back from injury. The halves, Braithen Astor and Mitchell Pearce. In the back row, it's Nate Miles, Craig Fitzgibbon, the captain, and Nigel Plum. Up front, David Shillington, Craig Wing and Danny Nutley. And the interchange bench this afternoon, Chris Beattie, Shane Shackleton, Mitch Orbison and Lapini Paya, coached by Chris Anderson.
And their opposition this afternoon, 2 from 2, come off a 19-8 victory over the West Tigers last weekend, and they go in with the same 17-man squad that were successful at Leichhardt. At fullback, and still looking for his first try this year, Brett Stewart. On the wings, a couple of flyers in Michael Robertson and Chris Hicks. The centre pairing, Stephen Bell and Jamie Lyon, plenty of class there. In the halves, Travis Burns outside Michael Monahan. He was superb in steering the side last week. The forward pack, Luke Williamson at lock, Anthony Watmoe and Glenn Stewart, the second rowers. And up front, Jason King, Matt Ballin, a great debut for him in the NRL last week as well. Brent Kite captains the side for the second week in a row, and their interchange, Clint Halden, Glenn Hall, George Rose, Mark Bryant, and they are coached by Des Hasler.
Sean Hampstead referee for this one of the more experienced whistleblowers in our game. Battle of the Birds on 9 Sunday footy today. And Roosters chasing their first win. Manly minus some big names, but hoping to repeat the dose of last week. Kite, their captain, tackled 15 metres out from the line. This is young Ballin, who was so impressive last week, Queenslander. Up in the hooking role for Manly, with Monahan back at halfback. And there is Monahan at acting half for Watmoe, on for Kite. Front on there was Nigel Plum. Roosters supporters nice and vocal early, getting behind their team. Manly 15 metres inside their own half. And now Ballin to centre field with King, who's been very strong to start the year. Got an offload there away, it was knocked down, and the Roosters will come up with it with Kenny-Dowell. One of 3 teenagers in the Roosters squad, out on the left wing. Now with Fitzgibbon to halfway. First up there was Ballin. He made 45 tackles last week, Matt Ballin. Now Pearce along for Shillington. The head-to-head clashes between these clubs over that 109 meetings. Dominated by Manly. 70 wins, a couple of draws in that, and here at Aussie Stadium, 8 wins out of 12, so it's a good record for the Sea Eagles. As they work with an Astor. Got the 6 on his back, started the year with 13. We thought that's where he was going to remain. He made a point there to the referee on the run. Wing goes back for Pearce, kicking from 30 metres out. He's got it to the corner. Stewart's able to cut it off. Manly fullback, wrapped up 5 metres out.
And the Sea Eagles really must now make sure that they get through this set of 6. There are certain things that you have to do in a game of football, and the first one is to get through your first set. Jason King got an arm free, but the pass was never on. This is better stuff from Watmoe, picking up good metres and trying to get his side into kicking position.
25 out from their own line as Monahan works to the left, cuts out Williamson. Looking up with line, let's go down to the sideline, Ben Eichen.
It's lovely down here in Sydney today. I actually thought I was back in Queensland for a little while. But anyway, conditions are perfect for rugby league. It's 22 degrees, not too hot, not too cold. There's no real breeze to speak of, and the pitch looks fast. Carl Lewis fast, so I'm expecting a big game of rugby league.
Can we arrange for him to go back to Queensland?
Back to Minicello. Been a few sprinters since Carl Lewis too. 30 metres out from their own line, the Roosters. Now Pearce goes to the left. Nice first touch from Ben Eichen. We rip him to shreds. Now Soliola's with the ball. Almost back to halfway. Their last meeting, round 18 last year. Matt Orford a star on that day. You heard Matt Orford on the footy show this morning with that ankle ligament damage, and now there's big trouble. They're able to evade it though. Roosters 35 metres out from the line. It was a tough moment for Sean Kenny-Dowell. He did well to keep it in field. This time put down by Pearce, then likewise by Williamson.
You were never onside, mate. You were never onside. You interfered.
Their penalty goes to the Roosters. This is 25 metres out. It was a bit of a shambles though before the whistle was blown. They all had a crack.
Well, it was a bonus for the Roosters. They turned the ball over fairly softly and suddenly get an offside penalty, but no, kick a goal. They're going to go for it. Good
Shillington.
sign.
Straight away up to the 20-metre line. Watmo first there with King. Now out for Minicello. Drifts across field. Links up with Plum. His handling lets him down. And Manly straight away back on the attack. Then back to the 30. Worrying signs for the Roosters. Not quite happening for them. Monahan goes out for Burns. Spun around in the tackle. Good stuff from Soliola. Looking to make the most of his chance here, having been dropped. And now King has hit hard. Good tackle, front on. Nate Miles, he is a hit man. The former Bulldog, now Stewart. To the 40, Soliola goes low on the tackle. They've got some hard hitters. Watch out for Nigel Plum. He's not a veteran in first grade, but every time we've seen him, he has pulled off some big shots, the number 13 for the Roosters. Kind of obstruction there from the Roosters fans.
And it would have been if Amos Roberts hadn't have been making the tackle straight away. Last tackle now against Manly, kicking around the halfway area.
And Monahan has picked out Minicello, not his best effort that one from the 10-metre line. It is wonderful to have Minicello back in the ranks. That May last year, we're told, couldn't tie his own shoelaces. The back problem was so bad. First suffered the problems way back in January 2005.
And it's a problem he's going to have to keep managing with his rehab and preparation for games. I don't think it'll ever leave him.
Now play by wing. Minicello switches to the right. Pearce long for Plum. Angles back in field and line a good tackle. Just below the waist. And now Anastar dumps it off for Nutley. 3 there for Denny Nutley. He'll get through plenty of work, Denny Nutley. He won't probably cop a heavier tackle today, though. 40 metres out from the line. Roosters in possession. And Astor goes low with his kick. Trapped on the boot. Nice skills by Stewart. And Stewart is back over the 20. Unavailable Eagles. Menzies, Orford there. Steve Maddai in good spirits. And now Robertson back to the 30. Ballin slips in the dummy half and they'll keep going down that right side. Burns away for Bell. Back infield. One of the Queensland Origin heroes from last year. Bell gets over the 40, left Nutley behind. Then a second tackle from Miles. Hampstead played advantage. There is a chance down this right-hand side with Stewart. And wrapped up a good tackle by Mitchell Pearce. Manly 40 metres from the line. Hicks comes infield. Now for Monahan. Hicks out on that right wing. He looks like a pirate with a beard and the headband on today. He just needs an eye patch. Goes over the dead ball line. Roosters will come back to the 20.
Now very keen to move the ball wide, the Manly Seagulls. And that kick just a little bit long from Michael Monahan. Reached out through Fitzgibbon. 28 out from their own line. And Astor into dummy half. Fight Shillington. Strong hit.
Nice tackle on the front row. Manly aiming up, and it was a dominant tackle. Quite allowed to hang about there a little bit longer. Out for Miles. Pressure on Miles as a big off-season recruit. This is the tackle on Shillington. The two front rowers combined, Kite and King, the two Ks. Roosters now 49 metres out from the line. And Nasta on for Nutley. Again, King's first up there with Kite. They're inside the Manly 40. Haven't quite got to the attacking zone just yet, the Roosters. Pearce is with it. Goes high with this one. Hicks has called for it. Hicks is underneath it, and Hicks is very good under the high ball. Met straight away by Minicello. That's rattled him a bit. Have a look at him. He looks the worst for wear. He's only been out there a few minutes, Hicks, but with that beard and the headband, pulled low down over the eyes. Shade of Ray Price about him, to be honest, this afternoon. Hicks to play it. And Manly will work it off their own line. Yet to see any quality ball down the Roosters' end of the field. Played by Kite. For Ballin, on for King. Shoulders forward, straight into Craig Wing. And Nutley. Now Ballin, 15 away from their own line. Stewart along for Watmo. Missed round one, back last week, scored the first try, gets as far as the 30 there. Now Jamie Lyon headed centre field, links up with Williamson. Burns was calling for it, but Williamson decided to run and tackled by Nutley. They're back to their 40. It's workmanlike so far from Manly. Monahan kicks from half a step over the 40-metre line. Underneath it is Sam Perrott. And Perrott will bring it back for the Roosters. And is given the treatment. In fact, gets away. There was no call of held. Away goes Sam Perrott. Nice little magic trick to get away from Stewart. And also Ballin. They both thought they had him. Now Kenny Dowell goes for a run, catches him offside. And he was half through.
A couple of good rucks there from the Roosters. Some energy in their play, and even though Braithen Astor might be wearing number 6 on his back, he's playing a very unconventional 5/8 role, still playing more like a back rower, a lock forward. I'm sure that's where Anderson would like to play him, but he doesn't want to have 2 rookies in Pearce and Orbison next to each other.
So Roosters restart, 40 metres out, wing for Pearce, on for Denny Nutley. Nutley runs up there at Williamson. Almost won Player of the Year last year in the Super League. Denny Nutley 3rd in the count, playing for Castleford. Now Shillington, he's 25 metres from the Manly line. Rolls away from the Stewart tackle, wing. Picks out Pearce, keeps it coming to the right. Straightens up and Astor. Support was there in Plum, couldn't handle. Manly come up with a ball, but a lovely touch from Braithen Astor. I don't think there was much wrong with the pass.
No, the pass was beautiful. So too was an Astor's step. He caught it on the slide and really stepped back hard off the right foot. Caught the Manly side napping here. Beautiful step off the right foot. Inside pass. And the fact that Plum had to jump over a fallen player probably got his eyes off the ball. But good work there from an Astor. Nice signs.
Williamson, Monahan straightens up, wing, hops onto his back, and with an assist from Shillington, they get him to ground. 4th tackle, 45 metres away from the Roosters line. The 2 teams warming to the contest now. Bell got away from Pearce. And now 32 metres away from the line. Minicello might hear the music in just a moment. On the last tackle, Manly get a penalty. We'll take a break. 10 gone, no score, Sunday footy. Manly and the Roosters doing battle in round 3 of the Telstra Premiership. Sunday football on Channel 9. And best chance of the match so far for Manly. 25 metres out, and up goes King for the first one. So a test for the Roosters here. Their defence, which has been brittle over the first couple of rounds. Ballon 10 metres out from the line. Show and go. Out for Stewart. On for Bell. Kenny Dow's having a good afternoon. Made the tackle. Now Hicks. Back to centre field. Stewart with it. Not really posing too much of a problem with that run. Up at his face was Denny Nutley. Now Ballon with Burns. Steps into trouble in the form of Fitzgibbon. Still 5 from the line. Ballon lined up left. They'll come out towards Jamie Lyon. Monahan with the ball. Able to offload. Now Williamson. They'll send it back to the side of the field to Stephen Bell. Burns keeps it going. Stewart with it. Got away from Soliola. Dummied there to Bell. And again, Kenny Dow has to come in. This 19-year-old with an Astor to make the tackle. Manly 10 out. Last play. It'll come down for Minicello. Just goes over the crossbar. That wasn't easy, and the Roosters fullback handled it well.
Lovely take there from Minicello, and good defence from the Roosters. I think that Soliola and Roberts, who are playing in the centres today, an unusual pairing either side of the field, has really shored up this Roosters defence. They both like to defend up and in, and they're really closing down this Manly attack, who would have seen them exposed badly last week against the Cowboys. The gaps that were there against the Cowboys are not here today.
Only once in their last 18 games have the Roosters conceded less than 20 points. It's a very damning statistic, and that less than 20 was round 1 this year against South, the match they still lost. Hard to win when you're conceding over 20 every game. Loose ball from wing, it's on the deck. Fitzgibbon looks at Minicello, then it hit a leg. I've got no troubles with that. Minicello got away from Stewart, getting close to the touchline. Kenny Dow falls back in field, does well, great footwork, left, right, left, right. And we'll play it 35 metres out from the Manly line. Roosters steadying as Pearce, he goes very high. This is a tough one for Stewart. He's underneath it and does well, falling. 5 metres out from the line. The 2 fullbacks are putting on quite a show today.
And throw Hicks in there as well. Been some very difficult takes. Made look easy by the receivers. Never taking eye off the football. The kick was a good one from young Pearce. Played well last week in his debut, just 17 years of age. Turns 18 next Saturday.
Here is Watmoe. Taken sideways there by Fitzgibbon. Finished off by Roberts. Queensland know the strength of their fullbacks available to them. They'll have no troubles if Minicello or Stewart were Origin fullback this year for New South Wales. The incumbent was Brett Hodgson. The 2 very classy number 1s here today. Here's Burns kicking from inside the 40. Goes down centre field. And across will come Sam Perrott. Found his feet in first grade last year. Now away for Minicello. There is Burns chasing him. Got away from little Travis Burns. This is the Minicello we know. Beat the first man. Take another 2 or 3 on. And still causing a wrestle, and then loses the ball.
Yeah, knock down.
After Sean Hampstead, in fact, says knocked down.
Trying to pass the ball. You were trying to pass the ball. Yeah, it's a knock on against Manly. Knock on against
He's like
Manly.
a pinball, Anthony Minicello. You've seen a pinball bouncing around the bumpers and bouncing off people.
Well, that's going to be against Manly, a knock-on from Jamie Lyon in batting the football down. The referee said that Minicello was shaping to pass, and Lyon caused the ball to come loose.
And now Amos Roberts is hit hard by Stewart. Really took his man down. Roberts, who scored 3 tries last week in Premier League for Newtown. Now Nate Miles. That was against Auckland, who are represented this year in the Premier League, the Auckland Lions. Roosters away, working left side. Plum on the spin. Will play it just short of halfway. And now Wing takes off down the short side, able to steal 10 metres. Kite finished him off. Sean Hampstead finds a penalty for a high shot. Wasn't a great deal to it.
When the Roosters can get quick play the balls, they're really finding this Manly defence struggling to get back. They come up with the odd high tackle, or they can get caught offside. Their markers have been caught not square. And the quick play the balls are doing that to them. The Roosters just need to hold on to the ball. Every time they've come down here, they've dropped it.
Danny Nutley 15 metres out from the line. They still give a bit of an impression. They're a side playing themselves into form here, the Roosters. Pearce, nice step, taken low down by Ballon. Over the top was King, 12 metres out from the line. Roosters, and Astor wanted it right. Wing decides to go left and links up with Shillington. Just 2 metres from the line and held by Kite. Again Wing, this time and Astor gets his hands on it. Out for Fitzgibbon, Minicello there with the ball. He's so strong, he gets in goal and is held up. Superb defence by Manly, right on their goal line. Robertson was right at the bottom of that.
He looks certain to score. Great defence to hold him up. Roosters still with a chance.
Craig Wing, centre field. Fitzgibbon runs straight. Last tackle for the Roosters. And Astor is first receiver. Here he is now. They decide to run. Pearce with the ball. 3-on-1 overlap. Miles fires it out high. It's ended up over the fence. Went through the hands of Kenny Dowell. Sunday footy on 9 and no score. Roosters and Eagles. It looked like a certain try was murdered out in the corner.
Well, this wasn't the one. This is Minicello bursting into a gap and confronted by 3 Manly defenders. And then Manly did very well to scramble here. Brett Stewart telling his winger to stay out, Chris Hicks, and that put enough pressure on Kenny Dowell for the ball to go astray after a high pass from Nate Miles.
So Manly back with it. Played by Watmo, now Williamson. Plenty of players looking to overcome the Ben Kennedy factor at Manly. Williamson has stepped up this year. Stewart's been a big improver, Glenn Stewart. Now Robertson will play it 12 metres short of halfway. Tackle again, Denny Nutley. Now Monahan. Burns straighten up Miles there. He comes out almost the other side. It was a very quick play the ball on for Kite. Last tackle. Having to rush a kick was Stewart. I think he's probably kicked the ball in first grade. It's not a bad kick, you know. He's kicked at 50, pulled it up in goal. Better than not a bad kick. It was an outstanding kick by Glenn Stewart. Had a split second to make up his mind there and produced a pinpoint one. So the Roosters now. Soliola. Good for New Zealand in the Tri-Nations. Hasn't started the year all that warm. Here is Miles. They've got a knock on there. Big chance for Manly. And they're stuck on 999 wins, the nervous 999s for the Roosters.
As I said earlier, Manly are struggling a little bit with the up and in defence of Soliola on the left and Amos Roberts on the right. Let's see what they come up with here in this set of 6. Whether they change tact a little bit.
They put Kite to 5'8" from the scrum, and as so often happens, it's just a straight run. No one left guessing. Here is Watmo, bit of footwork, then for Stewart. 3 games without a try. That's a drought for Brett Stewart. Longest number of games he's gone without scoring in his first grade career. Now King, he's picked up there by Nutley. Nutley's count up to 15 tackles already, 5 metres from the line. Here is Burns. Then a nice selective pass for Stewart. Stood in the tackle of an Astor, then for Bell. And Kenny Dowell comes up with another strong tackle. When this kid finishes growing, he'll be about 115 kilos out on the wing. Now for Williamson. 15 from the line. Sandwich there in the tackle. Good defence by the Roosters. Shillington and Plum. Played on the last. Now Monahan kicks over the top. Lyons there. Robertson's there. Loose for Manly and taken over the dead ball line. In fact, he says knocked on by Manly. 20-minute restart.
They do have a good strike rate from kicks, the Manly team. 6 of their 9 tries off the boot so far this season. That's ruled to have come off Michael Robertson. So we come all the way back to the 20-metre start. And as usual, it's Fitzgibbon looking to take it forward, but he offloads to Perrott.
World Swimming Championships tonight from 6:30. Note the time, live straight after National 9 News. Grant Hackett, Craig Stevens in the 1500. And the relay, Australia up against some very strong competition. They qualified 4th. Our women's team in action. Liesl Jones looking for another gold medal. Now Wing goes out for Anasta, kicking from 45 metres out from the line. This one will trickle to the corner. Good weight on that kick as well. Pearce is leading to chase. Stewart with it, and Asta there to make the tackle. Kenny down on the wing. What about the size of this young bloke, Gus? 19 years of age and making giant strides.
You know, last year I saw him play for the New South Wales under-19s against the junior Kiwis over there in New Zealand. Now, they were a big side. They intimidated the New South Wales boys, all except Sean Kenny down. Great tackle here. Soliola again, up and in. He's terrorising them out on that left-hand side. There's Sean Kenny down. He's not scared. He's only going to get bigger. And he's got a bright future.
Over from New Zealand as a 16-year-old. Now Manly with it, but under assault in this set. Here's Stewart. All got a bit of footwork, some of these Manly forwards. Bell comes back in field and Fitzgibbon forced to come over the top. Low man down was Plum. Last tackle for Manly. And Ballon kicks from inside the 40. Fielded there by Minicello. There's the acrobat, the gymnast in Minicello.
Yeah, Matt Ballon last week did get a 40-20 in the game against the Tigers. That one just screwed back towards the fullback Minicello, and his enthusiasm really making a difference to this Roosters lineup as well.
Well, his catch, he did the splits in mid-air and catching it. George Rose out there for Manly. Tell you about his week in just a moment as Shackleton takes the hit up for the Roosters. Rose there to make the tackle. Rode his car off during the week. Some say lucky to be alive. Walked away with a lacerated arm. Here he is playing this afternoon. Played by Fitzgibbon. 5 metres inside the Manly half. Fight out there by Anasta. Pearce does the same out for Minicello. Then on for Soliola. Tries to fend on Bell. Soliola over the sideline.
It's a good battle out there. Stephen Bell, one of the best traffic runners in the game, and Soliola, a power man, a test player. It's certainly different in stature. There you see Bell, a smaller man, getting a good hold of the jersey and with the help of Burns, herding the big fella towards the sideline.
Yeah, he raised a few eyebrows, Chris Anderson, this week where he dropped Soliola. He was one of the stars of the New Zealand team in last year's Tri-Nations. After only 2 rounds, he lost his spot at the Roosters. Joel Monahan injuring a hamstring at training yesterday gave Soliola a reprieve, and, well, it has lit a fire under him. There's no doubt about that. He's been very strong here so far.
Line held by Kenny Dowell. Centre field. Has to retreat now to the left wing. And Rose takes the hit up.
You can see some high-profile unavailable players watching for the Roosters. We should point out after 20 minutes, again evident that the Roosters have disregarded
Don't you pull his leg.
the one marker penalty. Now the one marker that they used in game 1, and the penalty here for dragging the leg in the tackle.
So this will take them inside the Roosters 30. Monahan just steadying the ship, taking a bit of time with a kick to line.
Still don't think Manly look all that dangerous with the ball. They've got to change the way they're playing, I think, to crack this Roosters defence.
Well, Manly so far this year, 6 of their 9 tries have come from kicks. They were different conditions, though, to this afternoon, but all the same, haven't exactly run through the line to score. But they're in the position right now to do it. Kite, 11 metres out from the line. Ballon, slightly move away there, was Beattie. Now Ballon switches the point for Monahan. Nice dummy, Monahan! Pearce had to come over the top. Fitzgibbon didn't panic, low down. Didn't fall off his man, Manly. With a big chance, they've managed to get it in goal. Pearce rolled away. And they've come up with a try to Brett Stewart. We're used to seeing him fly 30 and 40 metres. And that one is just a dummy half rush like Max Krilich.
Well, they will be filthy, the Roosters, that they've allowed Brett Stewart to score from close range. He is an exciting player who we are used to travelling a lot of metres to score, but he's got down underneath Craig Fitzgibbon, Pearce is there, he wriggles around, gets the football down. The Manly support players react. The referee in good position to rule on this. In the context of the game, it's a soft try.
21 tries last year, 21 games. Lions first kick of the day for Manly, successful. Roosters to restart play. Beaten round one by Souths, then going down to Cowboys last Saturday week. Six-0 scoreline. And Braithen Astor to send us into the next passage of play. And we'll come down short of the goal line. Stewart the first try, and I'm sure many had it on TAB Sportsbet. He's normally the favourite. Now played by Kite. And on for Rose. Up came Anasta. Fitzgibbon ended up making the tackle. Next Friday night, this is the way to kick off Easter for New South Wales viewers. Live at 7:30, the Rabbitohs versus the Bulldogs. The rampant Rabbitohs against the Bulldogs. For Queensland viewers, it's live. The Broncos versus the Roosters at Aussie. Always a good clash.
You can't flop in, mate. You can't flop in.
Always a bit of drama.
Can't flop in.
And things just falling away a little bit there for the Roosters. They really muscled up after conceding points in the next set of 6, but then a flop. That's the man over the top for the Roosters. Took all the oomph out of that first 6 after conceding the points. And now Manly with the football, only 40 out.
Now Ballon on for George Rose. He's 35 metres out, but he's only try of his career. Corresponding game last year against the Roosters. It was a big moment too. He went on the charge. He celebrated. Here's Monahan. Dummied there to Watmo. Monahan continuing on the good form of last week. Lost it there. He was trying to pass. Referee Hampstead had already said held. So error against Manly. And again this afternoon, Channel 9 proud to be associated with the National Rugby League in their One Community program, and right at the moment supporting the National Breast Cancer Foundation. And you can SMS the letters NRL to 193939 to purchase a virtual pink ribbon and support National Breast Cancer Foundation. $3 of that goes directly to the charity, and throughout the year we'll be supporting a number of charities in conjunction with the National Rugby League. A great initiative.
Go in. Right, go in.
And a big night coming up on Wednesday night. Captain's dinner. So Roosters with the ball. Perrott sideways and backwards, then a loose ball. Finds Sean Kenny down. Not often you see winger past a winger. That's what happened there. Would have scored a 3 in the old pass the ball days though. The ball from Perrott. He's got it back to Kenny Dow. Now we've had 2 in a row, so forget that stat. Here's Kenny Dow, ran around the back of Plum, and penalty goes to Manly.
Went around and made advantage.
In fact, it was Shackleton who sprinted through.
I've got to applaud the referees and the interpretation of this obstruction rule this year. It's been a lot more consistent, and as soon as we stop players running behind their own teammates back, the better. Manly have not found touch with this kick.
Haven't found it by a long way, Gus. Have not found it by a good 5 or 6 metres.
That was a shocker. Yeah, that obstruction rule is much better. If you make a general rule, the players will soon get the message on that.
So Roosters have the ball, having conceded it in possession and then getting it back. What a great last minute for the two teams. Here is Plum up over the 40, almost lost his footing as he got to Kite and Rose. Well played 8 metres short of halfway. 6-0 to Manly. Sunday footy on 9. Here is Wing, Jinkity's run. Hit hard there in the tackle of Watmo. Now 45 metres out, the kick downfield by Anasta. Stewart's across to it. A little bit of room to move here for Brett Stewart, and Hicks on his outside. Now Stewart runs and almost gets through. Geez, an exciting player. Just put the foot down on the pedal, and Plum had one leg, and that was all. Stewart could have run 80 metres to score. Now Burns. This is his brother Glenn. Tackled low down there by Pearce. Almost back to the 40 now, Manly. Ballon, centre field for Williamson. Attracts Fitzgibbon and also Beattie there. Beattie and Nutley, Roosters recruits for this year. Now Watmo looking to circle Anasta. Panic Anasta just took him closer to that sideline. Last tackle Manly. Lyon, been a bit quiet so far. Monahan goes high. Minicello's got a bit of time here. Fields it 15 metres out. First man through is Burns. There's Minicello taking him on, and Burns did well. Roosters back inside their 20, and with it, Lapini Paya. The only one of the Paya boys in the team this week. Mickey's missed out. Now Fitzgibbon goes back to the 40. Kite getting a rest for the Manly side. Craig Wing switches back to the left. Paya gets a second touch. In fact, he was their lone try scorer last week against the Cowboys. Almost a halfway. Wing takes off. Finds Pearce. Cut out ball now with Sam Perrott. So they've got Roberts playing out on the right wing at the moment. Perrott's all the way over on the left side of the field. Pearce goes very high again. Stewart's headed back to the post and on the fingertips takes it. That'll be a 20-metre restart.
Well, he scores plenty of tries, but most importantly, you want a fullback that you have complete confidence in. And what we've seen from Brett Stewart under the high ball in his whole NRL career, that's not a problem. Ball was knocked out by the Roosters there. 6 again signalled as Lyman. Lyon finds Williams going over halfway.
Lyman?
And played by Williamson. Ballon, Burns, comes back for Glenn Stewart. Got away, strong effort away from Pearce. Now got the good sense of mind to go back across to the left. A hand in there from Roberts. Again, the tackle count will restart for Manly. And pretty much at the same point, 45 metres out from the line. Again, they're working on George Rose for Manly. Got a cut above the eye. Getting treatment centre field. He's out of play at the moment. Ballon with it. Ducks down. And we'll play it 25 metres from the Roosters line. Another tackle there by Chris Beattie. Now Williamson with Burns. Inside for Stewart. Look, he's got to be one of the most improved players in the competition, and what he started this year. Glenn Stewart really put in a big off-season. It is showing. Monahan out the back for Burns. Burns livens up back for Monahan. 12 metres from the line. Roosters just stand off, waiting for Manly to make a move. It was all in slow motion. Now Ballon, 5 metres out, kick off the boot. Perrott's back there, and it goes over the dead ball line just.
Oh, very cool work there from Sam Perrott. The ball certainly wasn't going quickly over the dead ball line. He was willing it over. And Michael Robertson was flying in behind. He might have even actually tried to kick it out, but missed it. That's a good result.
Sideline, Ben Ikin.
I like what I'm seeing from the Manly second row at the moment. Anthony Watmough and Glenn Stewart have been in great form. Watmough, of course, made his return last week and scored 2 tries and has looked to be the most damaging player out there on the fringes for the Seagulls, while Glenn Stewart, he's the workhorse. Have a look at him, and he's got the best beard on the field.
Now Beattie along for Anasta, on for Fitzgibbon. Wrapped up there by Lyon. There's Watmough on screen. No Menzies. Kennedy gone. Now Minicello across field. A little bit of work here for Paya.
I spoke to Steve Menzies before the game. He's still having problems with that groin. A couple of weeks. Good ball from Minicello. They keep it alive. It was a knock-on, double knock-on, but it should be first against the Roosters.
Well, Nigel Plum, he's had some easier balls than that to take today. I'm not going to have a crack at him for just getting a hand on that ball. It was pretty low down, but at the moment he's fighting himself. It was right field first of all where he wasn't able to handle. Now he's over on the left.
They're doing some good things, the Roosters. It's not going to take much for this to click together, but just at the moment they can't find the right pass. They overrun it a little bit. The decoy runner gets in the way. It's just little teething problems, I guess.
It's a bit like West Tigers Friday night.
Very similar.
Here is Jamie Lyon, tackled 5 metres short of halfway. And now for Stewart, had a look, then takes off, and then it's cut in half. The tackle by Beattie, good one. Ballon, Manly roll forward with Rose. Pearce goes up high, low down was Shackleton. Quick play the ball by Rose. Ballon takes off for 10. They are on a roll here, Manly. Roosters fans weren't too happy with George Rose's play the ball. Williamson, now on from Bryant. Burns stops and props and comes back in field. Beattie's got hold of him. The Texas Terrier is wrapped up 11 metres away from the line. Last it is for Manly. Been a good set for them. Ballon, Monahan, steadies, gets the kick over the top. Minicello is there again. Came off Lyon. Stewart ends up with it. Oh, I've got a sneaking suspicion it's come off the shoulder of Jamie Lyon, but it may still be first knock on against the Roosters.
Comes back, hits his head and goes forward.
If that's the case, it's a try.
Well, you would think so. I'd say there's a bit of hand from Minicello.
Any dramas with Williamson as well here? This challenge on Nigel Plum, he gave him a good bump as well.
I think they're all going for the ball. Let's come back and hit Lyon on the head.
No try, 20-minute restart for the Roosters.
The same knock on against Lyon.
They're saying off the shoulder of Jamie Lyon.
I think it is one of those that, you know, I could live with either caller. There may have been a suggestion of shoulder in there, and if that was the case, it's a knock on.
You lifted him up, and it went dangerous position, you. Lifted his legs up.
Well, I'll go on record as saying I reckon Manly were unlucky in the end. I think we established it came off the head and not the shoulder. Anyway, that was the decision of Tim Mander, former top referee, now in the video referee's chair.
That's fair enough. I think we can live with either.
So, Roosters, full wing, Pearce. It was a big line finder for them. Shackleton, 35 metres from the Manly line.
They've just got to find the right pass here. Settle down. Just run through their plays.
They've sent out Mitchell Orbison now in 16. Here is Fitzgibbon. Picked up there by Lyon. Finished off by Monahan. Getting involved in the tackle was Bryan as well. Wing sends it back to centre field. Pearce is growing in confidence. They're 23 from the line. A few halfbacks to pick from the Roosters, but they're going with Pearce at the moment. Slow play the ball for Beattie. Wing. Pearce again, first receiver, out for Anasta. Straightens with a little uncertainty that time. Stewart with Williamson to make the tackle. Also there was Ballin. They'll play it 19 metres out from the line. Still chasing their first try of the match. Anasta's got this kick. Good weight on it. Stewart's across. Robertson has to put a sneaky little boot to it. And a line drop out for Manly.
And that maintains pressure. That's what you're looking to do coming into half-time. Not the great time to go wide after the slow play. The ball didn't allow Anasta much time or space on the far side, and then the kick selectively in made the back two of Manly play at the football. No surprise it's a slow restart, but a fairly decent one.
And fielded by Pearce, 40 metres out. Chris Beattie's ready to go. He's got this tomato red face, Chris Beattie. He doesn't get to his feet. Well, the penalty goes against Manly. Beattie gets it. Sometimes they go the other way.
Now this is a very interesting decision. No, they're going for the tap again.
Pearce across to centre field with Shackleton.
Why wouldn't they kick it out if they wanted to play on?
Well, they take the first tackle 20 metres out. They could have taken the first 10 out. Now Anasta. Out it comes for Payer. Taken there by Burns. Minicello's in a dummy half. Another penalty here. Again, it's against Manly.
Can't come back round the ruck.
Well, one more and they'll be threatening the can, as Stephen Clark would say. Ball with Fitzgibbon. He's centre field. He's only 5 metres out. He had the right arm almost free. Anasta was sprinting through. Wing. Oh, he has to put it in reverse. He got away. Oh, well, that was a little unlucky. He was behind Shane Shackleton. And then he put it into reverse. He didn't actually run all the way around behind him, did he?
Well, Shane Shackleton was still there from the previous play almost, just going into the line and stops. You can hear the reverse signal coming back. Oh, I didn't want to do that, sir.
But that's what I'm talking about. You know, the ball wasn't even meant to go that way, and Shackleton was always going to be a decoy but ran in front of his own man. And they're the little things that are holding the Roosters up from getting any momentum, any rhythm in their play.
Final 2 minutes of the first half. 9 Sunday football from Aussie. First time getting to see the Roosters in action. They put it down. It was Watmo. Roosters come up with it. Fitzgibbon. And he will play 32 minutes out. Roosters get another chance. Door is open. Shackleton goes for a hit up. And we'll play 25 minutes out from the line. Tackle one. Roosters chanters up. Pearce. And it comes. Anasta. Over the top came Stewart. We'll play it 20 minutes from the line. Burns was the man down low. Minicello. Pearce. On for Beattie. Turn and pass. Wings got it. Then it comes on for Orbison. And met Paul and all there by Lyon. Still 15 out. Play the ball for Wing. Fitzgibbon. He's 10 out. Links back up there. With it is Soliola. He's on the right side of the field now. Switching things around. Craig Wing goes for Anasta. Roberts is shifting over to the left. Pearce comes out. For Minicello. Kept going along. Payer back in field. Pearce with it. Now the Roosters. Big chance. Orbison goes over. And 6 points to 4, and right on the stroke of half-time.
And that might be just the combination that the Roosters will look for as they're 7 and 6. A beautiful pass from Mitchell Pearce, a flat pass to young Orbison. There's no doubt they would rather have Braith and Asta at the back of the scrum. They go to the left, move the football nicely. Amos Roberts, the player comes back, and then that pass, beautiful ball, and nice line running too from the try scorer, coming back at the defence. Took them by surprise.
Only problem, Peter, is I really think this boy Orbison is a back rower in the making himself.
He looks like one, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's played a lot of his junior football there, played in the centres for the Premier League that made the grand final last year. He's still young enough to play in the backs.
Back over to Fitzgibbon, 18 metres in from touch. This will bring us up to half-time. We're pretty much where we started. 6-all, Manly and the Roosters. 6 points all as Manly get us into the second half, and Travis Burns nicely waited on the kick, and Chris Beattie takes the first hit up and sent Watmough into reverse there. Williamson made the tackle, but Watmough had about 4 or 5 steps backwards. Fitzgibbon's first hit up for the half, short of the 20. Roosters will figure in Friday night football to kick off round 4 against the Broncos. They would love to have a win under their belt here, because the Broncos are vulnerable at the moment. Now Shackleton. Low down was Glenn Stewart, and his stats from that first half: 21 tackles, 9 hit-ups as well. It's a busy game. He's looking every bit an 80-minute player. First kick fielded there by Stewart for the second half, and Stewart runs straight up to Shackleton, and will play it 38 metres from the line. Manly possession. Now with Hicks. Copped a knock early in the game. He's okay now. Shackleton again there in defence. Now with balance, switches to the right. Stewart will take them over halfway. Shackleton's there again, this time combining with Lapini Paya. 3 tackles have taken themselves inside Roosters territory. King along for Kite, stands in the tackle. Intercept for Pearce. Chance now. Fitzgibbon away to Roberts. And Roberts tackled by Lyon. He still had one more on his outside. That was Sam Perrott. Wing runs for 8 metres inside the Manly 40. Perrott got a big guard on that left elbow. Pearce drifts across for Paya. He's strong. He's just over the 100-kilo mark. Lapini Paya. Brother Lalea up at the Gold Coast Titans. Now with Soliola. 25 metres from the Manly line. In position to score first points of the second half. And Asta inside again for Paya. Football under the arm. Now the ball with Soliola. Got away with a fend away from Hicks. Comes back in field. Soliola will play it 15 metres out from the line. Tackle number 5. And Asta first receiver. A little wider is Pearce. And Asta has it now. Steadies. Gets the kick to the wing. It's out towards Sam Perrott. Up goes Roberts. A hand was there. Fitzgibbon almost into his arms. Ended up going over the sideline. Hampstead wants a changeover and a Manly ball.
Well, they need to have learned a valuable lesson, Manly. At the side of half-time, they made a mistake in their own end, and that saw the try come to Orbison. And in the first minute, second half, full pass run by Brent Kite, intercepted, and immediately the opposition on the attack.
Michael Robertson copped one a little high there from Chris Beattie. He's okay. Maybe a little shaken up. Burns, oh, that's a hard ball to take for Bell. Under pressure. Roosters back on the attack. Batted on by an ass to the wing. Looked like mini or mod league there for a moment. They're all standing very close, just palming it off. Eventually Wing ran for 5. Now Kenny Dowell away to Fitzgibbon. There's the Fitzgibbon shuffle. He lost the ball. It was stripped. It's a penalty 15 metres out. Around about 5 metres off centre.
Well, they'll be taking the 2 here. Been a very ordinary start for Manly second half. 2 possessions, 2 drop ball, middle of the tackle count. And this ruling, a strip on Craig Fitzgibbon. Ballin and Williamson were the 2 on that side of the ball, and the Roosters lead for the first time this afternoon.
2-point margin in Sunday footy on Channel 9. Roosters 8, Seagulls 6. Another restart for Travis Burns here at Aussie Stadium. Sunday footy round 3 on Channel 9. Following on from our Golden Point Friday night. And this game's got a little bit of a stiff about it as well, to be honest.
I've got to be honest, I thought the back end of that first half, and as this second half has started off, the Roosters are going a bit the better. they look more likely to score tries than Manly do.
Craig Wing, the 4 Fitzgibbon. We'll see if Gus is right as they get back to the 40. Sterlo's right, how flat Manly has started since the break. Wing, Shackleton. We played on halfway. He's sort of old school Shane Shackleton, as is Chris Beattie, as is Denny Nutley. High ball here for Stewart. They have not put a foot wrong, these fullbacks. Stewart now back over the 20, hit low down by Payer and then finished off over the top by Beattie.
Well, the Roosters do have some young forwards out there, the Nigel Plums, the David Shillington, and they've opted to buy some experience. Beattie 2 seasons in the south of France. Danny Nutley a season with Castleford. They've both come back in, very experienced customers, tough nuts. Good people to learn from if you're a young forward.
And a fair time off the field here, Danny Nutley. Back at the Sharks, he was at least a 3-quarter game, sometimes 80-minute front rower, as now the ball with Bell. Tackled by Payer. Rapini Payer impressive this afternoon. Ballon for Burns, kicks from 45 metres out. His first choice was to go high and ended up deciding to go for the corner, and then he's put it out on the full and changed over. Another mistake by Manly.
Yeah, a couple of drop balls, now a kick out on the full. They're virtually inviting the Roosters to come and get them. Good pressure from Anasta. Nothing solid about their play since the half-time break.
It's 11 hit-ups now for Shackleton, coming off the bench. He's now second in that department for the Roosters. Every one of them's been ramrod straight. Out for their try scorer, Mitch Orbison.
He hasn't had a lot of opportunities yet, but he does throw a beautiful pass, Mitchell Pearce. That is one very noticeable aspect of his game. Here he is at first receiver.
So the number 7 for the Roosters, Pearce. Out for Anasta. Anasta turns them inside. Shackleton's got another run. Good tackle, Glenn Stewart. Perfect technique, a bit like Beaver Menzies, that one. Anasta decides to run. Back at some retreating markers. Tackle 21 metres from the line. Last tackle for the Roosters. It will fall to Mitchell Pearce here. Here he is. Pearce comes across, gets the kick in, was knocked off his feet. Still plenty of height on the kick. It's come down. Robertson didn't get anywhere near it. Roosters with Amos Roberts.
I reckon there's a dead set push in the back here. I think you'll find that the Manly player underneath gets pushed in the back before the ball arrives. We are a long way away here, but it did appear as though Pearce, who gets the kick away and the chasers are onside, gets hit just as he kicked it. But just watch the winger here get pushed in the back, out of the way. I think that's enough to be penalised.
6 points for Manly. They're 2 behind. They will remain 2 behind right here. And it will be a penalty to the Seagulls. But they are doing it tough in their second half.
That's why I gave coaching away, because I don't know why they do what they do. I tried to work it out. Took me a long time. I don't know.
The great Gus Gould. And now Manly on the restart. King, for the first time today, has got plenty. Jeff Tuvey in the blue shirt this year, always barking instructions. The 14th man for the Seagulls. Absolutely loves it. And he's got a great opponent out there in the other ranks for the Roosters. Manly 15 metres inside their own half. Stewart, another run. He's bulked up, but he's showing he's stronger. Tackled by Anasta and Wing. Centrefield comes Bell. There's that footwork from Stephen Bell. I sometimes wonder if he really knows where he's headed. Very dangerous player though. Ballon takes off at 10 metres. So tackle number 5. They've got themselves 30 metres out from the Roosters line. First time they've got themselves in this position since half time. Monahan, not a great kick, allowed to bounce. Almost went right up the backside of Robertson. The kick, they've got the ball back. Roberts didn't want to have anything to do with it, Amos Roberts, and Robertson there as well. Now Burns is with it. One-handed carry. Pearce over the top. Shackleton down low. Manly 5 metres out from the line. Monahan then throws deep. Stewart unloads. Back infield comes the Pirate Hicks. Hicks will go close to the line. He's held up. It's a pile-up of Roosters defenders. Oh, Penn got there. Now Stewart out for Monahan. Then across. With it is Hall. He's tackled low down. Fitzgibbon, no surprise there. They're short on the right, the Roosters. Real short. Manly come that way. Burns, oh, he threw the dummy. Roberts come out of the line. And now a penalty to the Roosters.
Why you went
intimidated by Roberts sprinting up out wide. I pointed this out in the first half. Amos Roberts playing in the centres is racing up quickly. Watch how Roberts will race up, cutting down the opportunity for him to pass, so he has to run.
He took the player out.
King then becomes a decoy runner and now an obstruction, and is penalised rightly by Hampstead.
There's Brad Fittler. He's got the blue shirt from the Roosters. Former international, former Origin player, premiership winner, and then you got Tuvey, same stats for Manly. So Roosters in possession, 12 metres short of halfway, one try apiece, and it's the boot of Fitzgibbon that's got them ahead. Pearce on for Minicello, tackled low down by Burns. This was Shane Shackleton, who was taken to behind the dead ball line for the Roosters. In the meantime, they've got Beattie off the field and Shillington back out there. Wing with it. Throws it out for Fitzgibbon. Then on for Roberts. He is flash on the feet. Amos Roberts. Threatening there. 30 metres from the line. Orbison. Pearce. These are names not known to too many first-grade followers. They're in first grade now for the Roosters. Minicello. 25 out from the line. Now Payer steps back infield. Ran around the back of Anasta. Allowed to continue. 21 metres from the line. Last tackle for the Roosters. Wing. Mitchell Pearce. This time, kick for Robertson. It's underneath it, or rather Hicks is able to come down with the ball, and Chris Hicks diffuses that one. 20-metre restart for Manly. And I'm not sure where the next try is going to come from here. Hicks back to the 30. In fact, if I'm Manly and I get a penalty in kicking range, I level the scores and then decide what happens next.
Well, Stephen Bell, to me, looks like the most likely player. Jamie Lyon is another who can create, but neither have got much ball today in good positions. They're really struggling around the halves to give them good service. I like the Dubby half Ballon. He looks like a good player.
What no good fend there on Pearce, Gus. Now gets a second crack at him. Poor Mitchell Pearce. Dog going for the tennis ball, just couldn't get it. Now it goes out. It's a big tennis ball, mind you. Now the ball with Burns. He's inside the 30. Taken there by Craig Wing. Last tackle now for Manly. Then for Monahan. Oh, that's a wobbly one. This one from Michael Monahan. It's almost into the front row. Batted back in field by Hicks. Roosters have the ball.
Stand up.
That was not a good kick from the Manly halfback.
Well, it comes on the back of Travis Burns putting the ball out on the full earlier. Their kicking game, normally under Matt Orford, is precise. It's far from that at the moment. As Kenny Dowell goes centre field. Unloads to Minicello.
Minicello puts a bit of footwork there on Stewart. Trying to get her on the outside of Burns. Takes three defenders to get him down. Shackleton eventually forced to go to the dressing room for the Roosters. Fitzgibbon, strong charge, and you heard the whack in the tackle of Stewart. Ballon low down, Wing. Pearce, 45 metres out from the line. He's going to send him on the run. Perrett's coming through. Robertson's dropped off. Robertson is back there. A bit of a headache now. Robertson and Roberts getting involved head on.
It's still a good kick, though, because it's really turned Manly around. They weren't expecting it. It's a half chance to get it back for a try. But now they'll lead up the tackle count very, very quickly as Manly is still retreating back behind the ball. The Roosters are on top. There's nothing in the score, but they're playing the better football.
Good comment from Ben Icon's sideline.
Well, the report out of the Roosters shed at half-time was that Chris Anderson asked for intensity lift from his players, and they're doing just that. They are running harder. So we see Nate Miles on the sideline. They're tackling harder. They're coming off the line quicker. The Roosters have purpose, but they need to maintain it for the rest of the game if they're going to win.
8-6 scoreline, 13 into the second half.
Of course, it would be a historic win. They're still on 999 wins. It would be the first team ever in rugby league to win 1,000. They've been stuck on 999 for a long time.
Since August last year.
The nervous 990s.
That's what we put it as. Long described that way. Now the ball with Kite. Saw a shot of the Manly bench. Clint Howden still waiting to get a run. He only got 4 minutes last week. Didn't know that rug pretty well. Here is Stewart. He explodes onto the ball. How good is this kid? He's why people pay money to see the footy. He gets them on their feet. There was nothing doing. He made it happen. It's 10-8.
Well, that's where the next try is coming from. Some blinding speed off the mark after an offload from Brent Kite opened up a little hole in behind the ruck area. Disappointment for the Roosters. They knew that they were on top, and all of a sudden, against the run of play, Brent Kite, attracting 3 defenders, pops it out the side, and then he just puts the foot down. Bang! From a standing start, Minicello, no real chance. Not up against the speedster coming at you already full speed.
19 metres in from touch, only took it back 15, and he's successful again. So Manly now lead by 4. Biggest margin of the match has been 6. 12-8, Seagulls over the Roosters. And reminder about your schedule for Friday night. Lock this in to kick off Easter. Rabbitohs and Bulldogs live at 7:30 for New South Wales viewers, at 9:30 for Queensland. And then the second match in the doubleheader, the Roosters and the Broncos. You'll see it live in Queensland, 9:30 in New South Wales. And its shapes is every bit as good as the Friday night we've just had. And if it is, we'll be very spoiled. King runs back, and he is picked up by the front rowers. Nutley, Shillington there. Fitzgibbon drive him back to the 10. Now Ballin away for Hall, who was here at the Roosters last year. Look at this tackle. Front rowers meeting a front rower, and Fitzgibbon adding his weight to it as well. A lot of muscle in that tackle. Now the ball with Lyon. Just a run back to centre field, but you'd almost touch or count his touches today on one hand. Here's Glenn Stewart. Need your hands and toes for Glenn Stewart. He's been really busy, but the ball just not coming Jamie Lyon's way. Burns deciding not to go anywhere near the sideline that time. Minicello onto it. He leaves Perrott behind. Minicello straightens up. Stewart's over the top. Just that update on Shane Shackleton, who we saw go to the dressing room. Just a head knock, just getting some stitches in the dressing room. He'll be okay. Available to come back on. Des Hasler watches on. His team up by 4, chasing 3 straight wins to start the year. Last year opened with 2 defeats and then strung together 3 wins. Kenny Dow in field with Shillington. Chris Anderson, veteran coach. Back now at the Roosters. Nutley with it. Well, Nutley's lost it in the tackle. Wing dives on it, knock on. Here at Aussie Stadium, Sunday football on Channel 9, 12-8 to Manly. Two tries to 1 to the Seagulls. A match that was 6-all at half-time. And this the reason for the scrum. Denny Nutley taking it up in the Glenn Hall and Brent Kite tackle. Nutley saying it was a strip. How could you not believe that face?
Out.
On halfway. Burns, then Monahan.
I wouldn't be going to argue, that's for sure.
You remember him at Cronulla having that spat with Lincoln Withers a few years back down in Canberra. Watmo, he made Withers stand up. 40 metres away from the line. Nutley involved in that tackle on Watmo. Jason King. King has played City Origin the last couple of years, and on the form he's shown for the first 2 weeks, could be on target again. Now Monahan turned, or looked to turn it inside, and then he was straightened out in the tackle of Nutley. Slow to his feet, Danny Nutley. Ballin takes off, gets inside the 20. Second game in first grade. He's got plenty of confidence, Matt Ballin. Stewart, Monahan, plenty of time to get the kick in. Robertson's there, Roberts has got it. Roberts needs to stay out of the in goal. He's picked up, he's driven back. Hampstead says fair game.
Ball never hit the ground.
Line drop out for the Roosters. You can hear him call, ball never hit the ground.
Now, I'd like to see kickers on the 5th tackle try a little bit more variety like this. Instead of trying to roll it into the in goal all the time and risk giving away a 20-metre tap, there's nothing wrong with just lobbing it down a yard out from the line there like that. Even if Roberts gets into the field to play, they're in awful position, and you've got the chance to push him back if you don't get it.
Well, we saw a remarkable kick last night from Jonathan Thurston that Luke O'Donnell nearly snatched onto. He travelled about 2 metres up and 3 metres wide. Very unexpected. They're starting to build a little bit of pressure now, the Manly team. Their nose in front.
King funded back from that line dropout. And Roosters losing's become a bit of a habit. I think their confidence is wavering at the moment. They're under pressure. Hall has tackled 20 metres out from the line.
They were on top 5 minutes ago.
Ballin. Now Kite holds it up for Monahan. He's put Watmo through the gap. Watmo got past Minicello. Perrott couldn't stop him. And this bulldozer just pinned his ears back. They wanted Tim Man to the put down, but Watmough has no doubts. He's got a meat pie here at Aussie Stadium.
Well, that's all we're checking. It was a very short pass and a flat pass from Michael Monaghan. He's been looking for runners to come into a hole like this from Anthony Watmough all afternoon. But it doesn't matter, this pass, it's a beautiful ball. And he's grounded short of the line, but the momentum undoubtedly takes him across.
Yeah, no problem with that at all. And when I was talking about Manly having to change their game, here he goes down. He's actually lifted across the line there by Sam Parrott, the Rooster winger. I said in the first half that Amos Roberts was causing them a lot of trouble with his up and in defence. Well, they changed it there. You'll see when you see the high shot and the repeat of that try that they'll actually put Watmough inside Amos Roberts rather than try to pass past Amos Roberts. Manly jump out to a good lead now, 16 points to 8. And watch the way here that Michael Monaghan squeezes Watmough into a small gap inside Amos Roberts. Amos Roberts has gone up to cut off the long pass, and Monaghan and Watmough have worked it out. Would have talked about it at half-time, said, how are we going to beat this bloke? Watmough said, give me a short one. We'll find out if he wants to come in and tackle me. And Roberts couldn't do that.
Well, I guess that was a big question mark coming in also to this season with the loss of Ben Kennedy as to how the back row would function. And they've done tremendously well, especially with Steve Menzies on the sideline. I think with a player like Ben Kennedy, you've got a residue of him left, what he provided there. So there's still an influence despite the fact he's retired. And the players are benefiting. Jamie Lyon has kicked very well this afternoon. No very difficult attempts up until this one, but he struck the ball well. And coming off a very successful season goal kicking in the English Super League.
You're right about your point about BK. All the Manly players say it was his work ethic at training, not necessarily what he did on game day. Lyon is successful. Right time to kick one like that. 18 points to 8, Ben Ikin sideline.
Despite the fact the Sea Eagles have skipped ahead in this match, it's a game where momentum is swinging from side to side. The Roosters need to win here, so don't you go anywhere, strap yourself in. This one's going to go down to the wire.
10-point ball game, 19 minutes remaining, Ben.
Right, Bill, no start.
But Roosters need to be next to score. Anasta doesn't go all that deep with a kick-off. 5 minutes out from the line, fielded by Monaghan. And Kite will go on an angle. Look at him run. He ends up out near the winger, Sam Parrott. He ends up a little too close to that sideline, I reckon. Parrott there with Roberts. When he took the ball, you were thinking he'll just hit it up over the 20. Kite got ambitious. Back to his schoolboy days as a centre and winger. Parrott there, Roberts, and Michael Robertson had to get involved to keep him in the field of play. King had to handle, then lost it. Roosters come up with the ball, Nate Miles. Manly perhaps showing us they're a nervous leader here. Wing out for Anasta. And then Soliola standing at the tackle. Bell went low down. Roosters leading that missed tackle count today. Shillington, strong bump there on Glenn Hall. 30 metres away from the line. Manly lead the error count by 3. Anasta, centre field for Nutley. Straightens up. There's 3 there to meet Denny Nutley. He's built like a brick, you know what, Denny Nutley. Low to the ground as well. Now the ball for Miles. A can, that's it. Now wing. Cross it comes for Anasta. Mitchell Pearce. All that look forward. 8 metres out from the line, called forward. A pass from Mitchell Pearce, and that hurts the Roosters fans.
Yes, just pushing it. He gave himself away to a quick look to the referee as soon as he delivered it. Picked it off. And he looked straight at the ref to see.
Strong evidence for Detective Hampstead to act on. That's what he does away from refereeing. Might pop up in a CSI episode or something like that, Sean Hampstead. Be well worth seeing. Maybe not, Gus. 10 metres out from their own line. Now Jamie Lyon with it. He's almost back to the 30.
I love my CSI. I don't want him to pop up in that at all.
Fair enough. Watmough, the try scorer. Almost back to halfway. Shillington made the tackle. Now Monaghan inside. And Glenn Hall. He's had a few clubs now, Glenn Hall. Finding a home at Manly this year. 45 metres out from the Roosters line. Here's Kite. He's relishing the role of captain, Brent Kite. And he is in an international to start the year. He was there in the Tri-Nations squad end of last season. Manly 25 metres from the Roosters line. This is a big time for the Roosters defence. Monahan out wider for Lyon. They're 15 away. Last tackle. Jamie Lyon in a wrestle. Falls to his feet. Now at a dummy half goes Monahan. Tries a little kick. It came off the legs of Orbison. Roosters are in possession. Knocked down right in front of their own posts. Well, if I thought the forward pass from Mitchell Pearce hurt a little bit, that one absolutely stings. That is burning.
Well, Danny Nutley wasn't going to run 95 metres. Unfortunately, he threw to a stationary player. And the ball was put out in front of him. That was Craig Wing. Even with his athleticism, he was never going to rule that one. Advantage had been played.
So 10 metres out. Manly leading by 10 on the attack. Full set to work with. Stephen Bell is tackled. 9 metres from the line by Miles. Second tackle there around the legs, Minicello. Now with Glenn Stewart, heads back towards the posts. They hit him up there, Shillington over the top, and they can slow the ball down. He didn't get to his feet, should have been a penalty against Stewart, never got to his feet. Monahan back inside, now goes Hall. Hall has got over for Manly. Well, they're not going to come back for the play the ball. It's a try to Glenn Hall. They've got their fourth, and it's 22 to 8.
He's just talking about Glenn Hall being to a couple of clubs. Canterbury, South Sydney. Looks fairly happily in the maroon and white colours. Here's the play the ball from Glenn Stewart, and we have seen plenty of players penalised for that, for not getting to their feet to play the football. Manly fortunate to get away with that, but again, some pretty ordinary defence, and Hall does a good job with a couple of players in attendance to get the football down.
And again, Monahan playing short, this time inside to Hall, rather than trying to take on Amos Roberts, who'd rushed up out wide. They've just changed their game subtly on the edges of the field and produced 2 tries in the second half. There's Watmo, who was looking for the short gap. He scored the previous try. Shows it to Watmo, turns it back on the inside to Hall. That catches the defence napping. Some poor attempts at tackles. And the confidence has been blown out of the Roosters in the space of 10 minutes.
And for a player who seems to have had such a controversial time at Manly, Michael Monahan is so valuable to them. When you've got no Matt Orford, to be able to drop him back into the number 7 jersey and know that he's confident enough to control the football. Ballon has been very good. As I agree with Gus, he's a clever player, knows when to pass, knows when to run.
Lyon with another shot and another success. Scoreline has exploded. If you're a Roosters fan, it's 24 to 8. Ben Ikin sideline.
With 13 minutes to go in this match, the Manly Seagulls have only made 5 changes. With George Rose about to come on and be number 6, young Clint Heldon hasn't even been used yet. So believe you me, Manly Seagulls are going to finish this game with fresh legs. The Roosters need to get into it quick smart.
And Astor on the restart. He goes deeper this time. It's going to go close to that dead ball line. Stewart was there, and King took the head up and caught the shoulder over the top.
Gus, have we ever seen a game where 5 interchanges have been made in nearly 70 minutes of football?
No, it's something you would expect more from a side like the Bulldogs, I'd imagine. Maybe the Broncos.
We've got a penalty here. Well, we've got absolutely no idea why he's been penalised.
It hasn't been a fast game by any stretch of the imagination. You know, and I think what Des Hasler here has done, instead of making interchanges just for the sake of it, he's done it on the flow of the game. He's got injuries to key players, so he's kept as many of his players out there for as long a period of time as he can.
Well, I think he thinks he's got a back row that can play 80 minutes, carrying on the tradition of Kennedy, and Menzies there, and this Stewart's living up to it. Williamson's there. Why take him off?
And if the tempo of the game is such that, you know, they don't look tired, why not leave them there to play? You're talking about, you know, Michael Monahan. His attitude is the thing that makes him a competitive player at this level. You know, he's limited talent-wise, but he's got a great attitude, tremendous constitution. That rubs off on everyone.
See, there's some mistakes in Michael Monahan too, but I don't care because he's always trying to do something, and you'll cop that from a player.
So Manly 20 metres out from the line. Here he is again, the number 7. Michael Monahan goes out to the corner. Kenny Dowell doesn't get near it. It's going to go over that sideline. And Hampstead will say changeover, so Roosters will have the ball. Look, they've still got time. Panthers proved that on Friday night. You only need 2.5 minutes to come up with 2 tries.
Well, they've still got time, but the body language of the Roosters says that they can't win this one. At the moment, I think that they've looked up at a scoreline that's got out of reach. They've had 5 opportunities to get to this 1,000th win. And number 6 doesn't look like being any more productive at the moment.
Shillington tackled outside the 20. Roosters end of the field. Craig Wigg. Nutley with it. And now Rose over the top in the tackle. But Roosters, yeah, not really looking to step it up here. Pearce onto Anasta. Anasta twisted in the tackle. That hurt. That hurt everyone, I think. Matt Ballin let out a cry there of pain. Now the kick across from Anasta into the arms of Kenny Dowell. He's with it. Stays in the field of play. This big lump of a kid, Sean Kenny Dowell. Now Pearce, 25 metres out, looked pretty big off the boot. It's gone over the crossbar, then over the dead ball line, up into the Aussie Stadium sign.
See, when you pick a young fella like Mitchell Pearce, and I've got no doubt that with the other halfback options in the club, that Mitchell Pearce eventually is probably the player that the Roosters will look to be their number 7. But to pick him now, you've got to tolerate things like this for, I reckon, at least 18 months as he learns the game. Here's the Anasta tackle where everyone screamed. His groin got twisted around, landed on Ballin's knee.
Well, Ballin's the player that's been injured in that, and it was his teammate who's picked up Braith Anasta that's jammed that leg under the contact. And he's been forced to leave the field on the halfway line, the other side of the field.
It's given Clint Howden a chance to get out there. The bull rider from Leeton. There's Burns. Oh, it's been called forward, but the hands from Hicks was quite incredible. The way he picked it up off the bootstraps. Sunday footy here on 9 at 24 points to 8. And Nasta's a little ginger. Reminder about the One Community program, the NRL in association with Channel 9. You can visit the website. Lots of promotions happening. And we'll be promoting it right through the year in Sunday footy right here. At the moment, the number 1 charity is the National Breast Cancer Foundation. Look at those hands from Chris Hicks. They're pricey, as we called him in the first half. Now the ball with Minicello for the Roosters. Roberts attacking with Soliola. Soliola met there by Lyon and Watmo. They're 30 metres from the line. Perrott, Pearce, inside for Plum. 8.5 minutes remaining in the match, 24 to 8. You'd have to think they need to score in this set, the Roosters. Wing. If they're to try and make this Manly side a little nervous, Anasta, Minicello, and it comes for Kenny Dowell, he can't handle. It rolled all the way off his left arm, and Manly are back in possession. 0 tackle, 8 metres out from their own line. Howden throws it infield for Stewart. He was knocked off his feet. He was falling into the Miles tackle there. Might have copped a clip around the head, but he was only a metre off the ground when it happened. Georgie Rose will play 18 metres out from the line. Burns not the best just at the moment, the number 6 for Manly. And now Howden will play it. Noel Cleal spoke of Howden with pride before the game and had a chat with Crusher. Happy to produce the bull riding stat. It's right up his alley.
And a tough long walk here for Matt Ballin coming around. He's been very good in his 2 games in the top grade. And let's hope that that's not a serious injury as Howden tries to duck under a tackle. Last tackle, 43 out from the opposition line.
Beating the defender. Williamson's gone to dummy half there. And Monahan's kick. This is all the way along the ground. Rifled into touch.
That's clever. The clock is on their side. The more the ball is out of play, the better for the leading team.
This is a real boost to the Manly club, you know, to be without Orford and Menzies and these players. Ballin, they've unearthed the youngster here. This is, here it is again. Gets his foot caught right in underneath there. You see his ankle twisting. There was just nowhere for it to go. Not that I like looking at these pictures, but it's the accidents that do happen on the field out there. He looks okay now.
Anthony Watmo owes him a beer, that's at least, once the bleeding stopped.
Soliola took a rugged run on the back of that scrum. Roosters in possession.
But they're good wins by Manly. To be without those players and to graft away the way they did against the West Tigers last week and the Roosters today, valuable points.
Wheel away here for Shillington on the fingertips of Pearce. Then it comes out the back. When he was facing his own goal line, it went back Manly's way. So Seagulls have possession and an opportunity to post try number 5. Jamie Lyon in half speed across high ball there for Burns. Anasta came up, stood in the tackle, away for Stewart. Dummy there to Bell, now on to Hicks. Hicks put a fend on Pearce, got through the tackle of Soliola. Eventually tackled by Fitzgibbon. Bell in at acting half, 18 metres out from the line. Here goes Bell, changing angles 3 or 4 times. And will play it 10 metres from the line. At 24 points to 8, the unbeaten Sea Eagles. Winning right now. Monahan's pass was knocked out. Manly in no hurry to get to it. And Hampstead and all of that says knock on over the next few weeks. Manly, they're going to be back at Brookvale next week. Big one against the Warriors and the Bulldogs away and the Gold Coast Titans at home. They will fancy their chances in all 3 of those games.
Outside foot forward, locks are in. Down.
So Roosters, 15 out from their line. Not getting the field position when they want it. Craig Wing outside the 20. Now Pearce, Fitzgibbon taking on Williamson. Friday night footy, a reminder as Ballon gets treatment on that knee, attracting that ice pack. But the live game for New South Wales viewers will be South Sydney against the Bulldogs. Roosters going close to the touchline. Kenny Dowles with the ball. Pearce ended up over the sideline. Now Kenny Dowell does. He's almost down the tunnel. He managed to put the ball down, but it went forward. So real heat there, but Friday night, it's an outstanding doubleheader. Rabbitohs and Bulldogs. New South Wales viewers from 7:30. Queensland from 9:30. And up in Brisbane, you will see the Broncos against Roosters. In fact, right across Queensland, 7:30. And the replay for New South Wales viewers from 9:30. And we're looking at the Roosters and Broncos, 0 between them after 3 rounds.
And disregarding the draw, one of those sides will be still on 0 points after 4 rounds. We do not want to be giving the opposition that much start, even in a close competition.
Yeah, but one of them will get a win too, Sterling, and they'll be back.
Robertson, Watmo, Bryant. Bryant with a little spin.
The whole season turned around in 180 minutes. That's beautiful.
Now Howden away for Burns. Here is Stewart. Nice fend away from Soliola. And tackled 18 metres out from the line by Miles. Howden, Williamson looks lively, running across the back of the ruck. Tackled by Fitzgibbon. They're 10 metres out. Last tackle for Manly. Stewart, Burns gets the crubber kick in. Set up there for Minicello. Minicello is taken in goal by little Burns. Every match you watch Travis Burns, he lives up to the title of a Texas Terrier. That was the junior club, but he is a Terrier.
It's a good tackle. A good tackle. Plenty of hustle at the back end of the game. Follows his own kick.
And here's a young man who must have been very disappointed, happy to have brought a class player into the club, but very disappointed after a tremendous season last year that Jamie Lyon comes in and gets the number 6 in front of him. Now, rugby league's a funny game. He gets the 6 jersey back straight away. We're speaking to Matt Orford this morning. The one thing that Travis Burns did not do was drop his bundle in that disappointment. He just put his head down, and now he's got an opportunity to play a lot of first grade.
24-8, Manly over the Roosters. 3 minutes remaining, and Manly getting all the field position right now. 4 tries to 1 they've scored. The Roosters have not scored more than 1 try in the first 3 weeks. Monahan goes out for Stewart. Stewart back in field. Robertson held up in the tackle low down by Miles. So the Roosters' pride being tested late here. Monahan decides to kick. Tough one for Anasta. Not tough for Travis Burns. Bottle the last 5 minutes for Travis. He is Johnny on the spot. They have try number 5. You admire the way Michael Monahan plays. You've got to admire the way this kid plays as well.
Yes, well, Gus mentioned Michael Monahan's competitiveness. That applies to the number 6 jersey as well. Look, I'm sure that he doesn't like you. Keep saying he plays above his weight and all of those things. But he's all heart. And you saw from that tackle on Minicello, he doesn't mind putting his body on the line and shows great strength.
Ooh, was that a deliberate tap forward? I know we've never seen one, and we talked about it with Brett Stewart there a few years ago. But
I'm happy with that.
you're happy with it?
I'm very, very happy with that.
That's a juggle.
A juggle?
That's a juggle. He's just juggling that.
He's made a genuine attempt to try and get it.
Okay. We'll never see another of those, tapping it over a player's head.
I don't think that's what the rule was for, to stop that. I think it was to stop you throwing it over your opponent's head, running around picking it up on the other side.
Well, I'd like to see that. Pierre Bear would have done that, wouldn't he, the French fullback?
They saw a bit of that in the 20s, apparently. They had to rub it out of the game.
Well, it's a real concern again, the late points conceded by the Roosters. They came into the weekend, round 2, sitting on the bottom of the competition ladder, courtesy of a very poor for and against. They'll be there again going into next Friday night's match, and you just can't win football games if you're conceding close to 30 a game.
Well, this will be 91 for the year they've conceded, and it will be 209 from their last 6 games for the Roosters. You go back to their last 3 last year and their first 3 here. It's not flattering. Lyon is successful again. He's got a nice bag of points today. 5 goals, 5 tries, 30 points to 8. Roosters at one stage in their second half led 8 points to 6. And the Manly supporters will travel back to the Northern Beaches happy that their side is among the unbeaten ones in the NRL. And Anasta kicks deep. Got it perfectly weighted. Stewart. And back will come Mark Bryant. Mark Bryant on the spin. Tackle 10 metres away from the line. He's lost it. I don't think there'll be time for the scrum to pack down. They're doing the 10-second count. The Roosters, this is a nice sign of enthusiasm. They want to pack the scrum quickly. So Hampstead has to stop the clock with 1 second remaining. I don't think the timekeeper was up to it. He couldn't have enough reaction time to get the finger on the button to stop the clock. Well, that's a good sign as far as I'm concerned by the Roosters.
I saw an Olympic basketball final one in the last minute between America and Russia. And I can't see the Roosters getting out of this one, no matter how much desperation they're showing.
Haven't heard of a 22-point try, Sterling, got to be honest. Minicello floats it forward. Perrott has ended up with a ball. And Sam Perrott has gone for the corner. It was called forward. So no try, dramatic finish, 30 points to 8. Our man of the match this afternoon, Anthony Watmo.